Greetings survivors and friends, SHADOWFRAX here, peeling back yet another layer on the Rust plugin onion, and I'm back with more fantastic plugins that you may never have known existed. In the last episode I showcased some that really changed the game in different ways, and this time they're all about getting from A to B without the re, because today I'm talking about vehicle plugins of one kind or another, and as always, please leave a like and a comment below so that hopefully more people will get to see it. Right. We're losing daylight, people. Number 1. Pocket Zipline. First up, perhaps the most relevant plugin to the current discussion, and the one I'd vote most likely to be incorporated into the actual game at some point, is Pocket Zipline by AMD, who is also responsible for the Convoy plugin I showed you last time. Don't you just wish you could carry a zipline around with you and install it wherever you want? What about more exotic line colours than the standard greasy fare? How about even against all known physical laws, and maybe one or two unknown ones, actually being able to go up as well as down? Well, with this plugin on your server, you can add various types of zip lines to crates or your in-game store and adjust things such as their speed, min and max distance between points, colour and travel directions. To use one, simply place a couple of fasteners that look appropriately like Tesla coils and the line will automatically generate between them. Using them is as per the boring vanilla version, but the experience is so much more. Also, want to know what happens when two people try to use one at the same time, going in opposite directions? Well, maybe I'll show you later in the vid if I'm feeling generous. Number 2. Waterbikes. A bit like me, when you first saw snowmobiles, you thought to yourself, yeah, but what about bobsleighs? No? Well, maybe then you looked at one and thought, snow's just cynical water after all, and what we need in this world is more boats, so can't one of these be converted? Well, of course it can, and that's exactly what Senya did in this simple but effective mod, and the result looks kind of like a jet ski if you squint your brain hard enough. You can either allow people to spawn their own water bikes, not the best idea, although you can and probably should require scrap for this, or allow snowmobiles to be used on the water too, which is a much better idea and certainly does make them more useful. There are some parameters you can tweak in the config to adjust the thrust, steering and drag, and I'm not really sure what else I can say about this plugin apart from that we definitely need more boats. Planes next, but first another quick episode of The Gas Bill Needs Paying and It's Bigger Than Usual. Aliens are here and they're angry. Possibly even hangry. Why can't we ever meet any nice aliens, you ask? Well, you're not allowed. This is the future, and the future hates you. Welcome to Project Arrival, an ambitious mobile survival RPG that's in development and currently looking for closed beta testers, and if you live in Canada or the UK, that means you. After an interstellar war with aforementioned aliens, your story starts in a rather beaten up version of Earth where you must return the favour to a whole host of aliens, mutant creatures and mechs using a choice of futuristic weapons powered by nuclear fusion technology. Explore a massive open world from the shifting sandy wastes of the Gobi Desert to the futuristic city of Edengate and marvel at crisp, saucy AAA graphics in the palm of your hand. Survival is the #1 priority, so don't forget to feed yourself, avoid bad weather and gather and craft your way to safety as you search for hidden treasures, take part in time-limited challenges and experience unique quests and game modes. A closed beta test is running from April 22nd to May 2nd, and if you have an Android device and live in the UK or Canada, you can use my link in the description ASAP to grab a slot. If you live elsewhere or don't use Android, then please stay tuned to the official community of Project Arrival for updates. Links below. Back to the video. Number 3. Biplane. Now, it's pretty clear that we're not using the skies to their fullest potential, but if you're uncomfortable with the thought of spinning blades whooshing overhead and would rather keep them where you can see them, then a biplane might just be the solution you need. This is another plugin by AMD, and it lets you add a 2-man biplane to your server, basically a car with wings which are chunky yet functional, a bit like me. In keeping with the ways of most planes, you will need a fairly good run-up to take off and land. Good luck finding one of those in Rust, best if you live near a road really, or a beach, or maybe, and here's a thought, even the airfield if you like to live dangerously. These can be put in loot as a deployable item, or if you prefer, sold via a modified Airwolf vendor, which you can set up wherever you like. Like a car, they need a full complement of engine parts and fuel, but unlike helis, they can be placed on a ramp and have locks added to them. Best of all, server owners can allow them to carry HV rockets and HE ammo, which can be fired out the front and dropped out the bottom respectively. They're highly configurable and pretty much everything about them can be tweaked. If I had to ask for anything more, I'd say some mount points on the wings because stunts, and maybe a seaplane version with boats glued to the bottom. Number 4. Drone Taxi. Had one too many berry teas and haven't got a named driver? Want to see if your lardy ass can be levitated with a few hand fans and some garden furniture? Of course you do, and that means you should probably look into Drone Taxi by Cameron. Yes, the future's definitely here, I can tell you, and if you've got this one installed, players will be able to order their own Rust Uber or Nuber by typing /taxi in chat. There are 3 levels of drone that can be ordered. X is your basic no-frills one-man flying bar stool. XL seats up to 3 players, and the Lux is business class for your buttocks. It doesn't actually do anything special, but is reassuringly expensive. Simply select your chosen ride in the UI, and when seated, select your destination on the map. Just make sure you've got enough scrap on you to feed the meter, or you'll be unceremoniously dumped. Fares can all be tweaked in the config. Drones will try to avoid obstacles and are restricted as to where they can pick up and drop you. Number 5. Grappling Hook. Are you grappling with climbing up things, stuck at ground level with no way home, or just want to be able to climb cliffs again without needing to buy a new spacebar? Well, in that case, you might be interested in this plugin straight out of
Concept Limbo.
This is Grappling Hook by Nicodemus, the very same chap responsible for water bases and grid power. Depending on how you use it, it can either be the quickest way of getting where you want to go, or the quickest way of killing yourself. But once you've tried it, you'll either never want to, or never be able to, walk anywhere ever again. Legs are so boring. In fact, throw everything you know about Rust vehicles into a bin marked irrelevant, apart from that you can grapple onto them too. Why shouldn't I hitch a ride on an attack chopper? What are you gonna do? Shoot me? No. Yes, you are. As default, you can grapple with the middle mouse button, reel in and out with sprint and duck, and aim where you want with the mouse itself. There's a ton of flexibility in the config. You can adjust all sorts of things, specify where they can and can't be used, and decide how players will get their grubby hands on them. Just know there is definitely a skill to using them, and death is only a swing away. But fortunately, they are pretty light on performance, so the only server overheads should be the things you're grappling onto. Talking of which, I nearly forgot. So now you know. Number 6. IQ Bear Ride. Jump on board, comrade. No time to explain. Ever wanted a hairy quad bike with teeth and an attitude you could bake potatoes with? Are you of the opinion like me that standard Rust bears are basically a waste of RAM? Ever wondered what's up with those big... Pause. Enter IQ Bear Ride by Mercury, a plugin that finally puts the koala into qualified to ride bears. I don't know, sorry. With this installed, a new rideable bear can be given out and used. Like a horse, you can wield things whilst mounted, but unlike a horse, you can use him to attack players, smash barrels, and even collect wood, with the proceeds all going into the bear's own inventory. You can get your bear to follow you, pick him up and put him in a crate, and regardless of whether you're in the woods or not, he produces Winnie the Poohs. As per, a lot can be tweaked in the config, such as bear health, damage, and speed. You could have a supersonic grizzly if you really wanted. There's a bear cub that can be given too, which has a timer before it becomes a rideable adult. I'd like to see them act more like a pet when not being ridden so that they would defend you. And I'm hoping a polar option gets added too at some point, but until then, I guess I'll just have to grin and bear it. I'd love to know what you think to this round of plugins, so please let me know. And if you have any of these installed on your server, please let me know how you'd rate them. Thanks to all the chaps for letting me test them, and you'll find links to their work in the description. As I say, there are more vids like this coming, and if there are any plugins you'd like me to take a look at, then let me know below, and who knows. I can be found on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and I have a Steam group. Plus, you can support me directly on Patreon with YouTube memberships or via my merch store. All the links down below. I shall catch you all soon, but in the meantime, keep calm and stay rusty. Cheerio.